You're watching Lansdowne Rory Hump Irish football news and nostalgia. New kit, new sponsor, no Carsley. Plus, we take a look at the upcoming window. All this and more coming on the Lansdowne Roar, and it's live. David Dunn here, joined by Martin Prendergast and Nick Menzies. And as always, if you like what you see, you love what you hear, hit that subscribe button, scan that QR code, head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter pages. Of course, this is the beginning of the international window. You're very welcome. We are live, and of course, we are Irish football's most interactive podcast. So, as always, to our Roar faithful, we want to hear from you. Have your say. Get involved. The show is nothing without you guys. So, yeah, we want to hear from you. We want to hear about what you think of the new jersey. Carsley doesn't want to be involved. You know, anything you want. You want to talk about Nick's blurry background? You name it, we'll talk about it. We're going to be here till we get to the very end of those comments. Right, chaps, are we ready? We all excited? The window flying out tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the window. International window started today, didn't it, for some of us? No, I mean, the 4-1 loss, sadly, in the under-17s I'm on about, Dave, not anything else. But, yeah, it's the start of it, isn't it?
It certainly is. I'm flying out tomorrow, City Airport. Yeah, City Airport. I know what you're talking about there, Martin. But, you know, this is a family show until about 10 o'clock. Anyway,
international window or international relations?
Yeah. Relationships. Nah, no relationships. I'm too busy for a relationship. But yeah, lads, let's get into it. Let's get cracking. I can't wait. Anyway, traveling whole week back home in Ireland, and yeah, I want to hear from you guys out there. Tell us what you think. What do you think of the new shirt we're going to be talking about? It. Tell us about the new sponsor with Sky. Do you like it? Are you happy with it? And also, next comment, the next subject we're going to talk about, the first subject we're going to talk about here on Lansdowne Live is Lee Carsley. Lee Carsley has ruled himself out, becoming the Republic of Ireland manager. Carsley, speaking ahead of his qualifying game in Azerbaijan on Friday, he was talking to the Daily Mail. This is what he had to say. We had an initial conversation in November. Said Carsley, I went to speak to them, the FAI. Really informal, enjoyable for around an hour. It went no further. It was good to see what their thoughts were and to explore whether I was ready to take that next step. Just went no further. I didn't push it. I've always said that I'm really privileged to do this job I'm in. I appreciate that I'm in a really good position with a lot of responsibility. There was a feeling that I would go and do a senior job after the summer. Last summer, we think that's about. But speaking to John McDermott, the FA technical director, and other people, I'm committed to this campaign. At some point, maybe it's something I'll do. I didn't need convincing. I see myself as a development coach. I've not put myself out there applying for jobs or anything. I definitely wouldn't go down that route with the position I'm in and how lucky I am. So there you go, lads. Apparently that has put it to bed. Nick, how do you feel about that? Do you believe him?
I'm disappointed. Like, I won't lie. I kind of built it up a little bit, but I mean, if you look at a lot of his ex-teammates and a lot of his confidants, let's say, they've come out, and I think it's when Brian Kerr said he didn't think Lee Carsley would be involved. There'd be no reason for him to say that, if that makes sense, you know. So it's disappointing. I think he would have been a good fit. I kind of maintain my opinion that we need to have an experienced international manager to get the best out of the team we have at the moment. Has Carsley got that experience? I don't know. Was he a good fit? Is he contemporary? Is he what the FAI are probably looking for in terms of profile? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, look, lads, I'm disappointed, and to be honest, I think it's going to be either John O'Shea or Anthony Barry.
What about you, Martin? Are you delighted now, are you? But tell us what you said off air. Go on. Have you got the balls to say on air what you said to us off air? Go on.
I've always been wanting a United Ireland. I've got that. Man United's best ever Irish player, arguably, after Roy Keane. And then you have
only Irish player after Roy Keane, but anyway.
and then a favourite son of Ireland as well. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with John O'Shea getting the job now. I had probably set my heart on Carsley. I think this is the ultimate clickbait from the FAI. They just tease us along with all of this and all the speculation. It's keeping Irish fans interested in Irish football, and you know, it shows how kind of disjointed I think the association is still a bit of a mess in so many ways. I don't really want to focus on that negativity, but it seems these things that happen are kind of happening because of circumstances, not maybe by design. And ultimately, I kind of probably had built myself up thinking it was going to be Carsley, kind of fitted in with the pathway. I kind of convinced myself really that was going to be it, but I have no problem with O'Shea getting it. I don't really understand even, they're talking about April as a key date now. We've missed previous dates, so I think they're going to be more accountable now that Carsley's come and said he's not taken it or been offered it.
Yeah, I mean,
undermines a little bit of what they've been saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't see it being O'Shea. Do you think it's going to be O'Shea, Martin? Genuinely?
There's an audition for him, really, and I think even the fact that he's involved in the kit launch today, he's on. I think he's done very well in the press conferences. I think it's been a welcome development, even with the kit launch today. That I like the three of them up there. Coleman. Oh, sorry, it was two of them, wasn't it? Not three of them. Coleman and John O'Shea were there. Not an initial in sight on the top, so I thought that was very. I'm a big fan of that kind of thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have a little conspiracy though regarding Carsley, to be honest, lads, and I do wonder. I think the management team that are there at the moment, whether it be John O'Shea who gets the job or whether it be someone else, hopefully Hervé Renard, I think that is going to be the backroom team. I think that is going to be the core of it. Maybe with the exception of René Gilmartin, I can imagine him maybe going back to the 21s, and he's got a big job with Ipswich. I think a lot of people forget that he's kind of I think he's the defensive coach at Ipswich rather than the goalkeeping coach. So I don't know if he'll stay with them. But anyway, I digress. I wonder if Carsley had that informal chat and that the FAI said, look, this is going to be your backroom team, or the backroom team is going to be made up of kind of FAI coaching graduates. And Carsley maybe thought, no, because if you think about it, Carsley has a history with the FAI in terms of being dissatisfied with them, I suppose. And I wonder if he looked at that and thought that doesn't really fit what I would want or my vision. I don't know, but I can imagine that being the case. I really can. I really can. And it's not that they're bad coaches, lads. Like, as I said, René Gilmartin is I don't think people, I know he's only in as a goalkeeping coach, but I don't think people realise how highly rated he is in England. Paddy McCarthy as well. He's been knocking around for a while. John O'Shea, look, I think he's still quite raw in terms of coaching, as is Glenn Whelan. But I'd say Carsley would have wanted his own people and his own vision and didn't want any FAI interference because I don't think he trusts them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be O'Shea. I mean, if it is O'Shea, I think the FAI are going to play a dangerous game, to be honest. And not because if they had to come out and said, look, it's John O'Shea, that's it. We're going to take a chance. We believe in him. We're going to support him, but we believe he's the man to take us forward. I go, okay, fair enough. I'd want Carsley. I'd love to see Carsley. But I think the fact that they've come out and said, oh, no, it won't be him. And no, there's contractual things and all this kind of stuff. If it turns out, oh, actually, no, it is John O'Shea. Sorry, lads, we just kind of pulled the wool over your eyes. I think that's a dangerous game that they're going to play with the press because then they've purposely misled the press. If that, in my opinion, if that's the case,
misled the fans, Dave, as well.
Misled everybody. Like, yeah, you're right. The fans as well. Just misled everybody. Like, what you're playing games with us here now. I thought what was going to be Lee Carsley. I came on here and I gave my reasoning as to why. I had no inside story. It was conjecture. It's been conjecture throughout, as we've seen throughout all the different media outlets. It's going to be very interesting to see who it is. I don't think it will be O'Shea. As I said, if it turns out to be, I think they've misled everybody, and I don't think that would be a very wise move. I don't think they're going to do that.
I'd be concerned if it was O'Shea for the simple reason, and I'll keep beating the same drum, but I think you need an experienced manager there. I think you need someone with something extra in their arsenal. Pardon the pun, but just someone who has that experience, who can manage a game, who can mix things up, who has a plan A, B, C, and D. That's something Stephen Kenny didn't have. Oh yeah, geez, I don't know, but I think John O'Shea is still learning the ropes. And at the end of the day, lads, as a fan, and I know we have to be realistic about where we are, but we've missed out on three major tournaments now in a row, but two of them almost immediately. And we do need to start grinding out results. And does John O'Shea have the know-how to do that as a player? Absolutely. Does he know how to do that as a coach with this kind of young backroom team? I'm not sure. I still think we need a more experienced head. And I think, look, I think long-term John O'Shea could be a fantastic fit. But lads, we've been talking long-term for 2 campaigns and they've been gone before they've even started. And we can't have that. It's not fair on fans. It's actually not fair on this generation of players. And we need to go for someone who can maximize the limited resources along with the exciting young lads.
Well, just looking here in Sky Bet, changing it up a little bit. 6-4, Willie Sagnol is the favourite. Gus Pyatt 7-2, second favourite. Lee Carsley, Robbie Keane joint third favourite. Anthony Barry, then John O'Shea, Paul Clement. Martin, you don't honestly think it's going to be O'Shea, do you?
I think it's an audition for him ultimately, and I think
even after what the FAI have said and said.
Well, I think what the FAI, the dangerous ground for the FAI is now. If I think they are the backroom staff, I think that's who's there. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do think if John O'Shea gets decent results here and he grinds out good results with this, like makes us difficult to beat. We're both going to the game, aren't we? And we want to see Ireland put in a decent performance. I want to be proven right that they're going to start Bazunu as well instead of Kelleher, just to kind of shout up to you in the gods in the posh seats with your lanyard that I was right. But no, we want to see Ireland do well, and I think O'Shea will take the opportunity, and I think he will set himself a good opportunity for future consideration for the main job if he shows even now in his early kind of tenure as an inexperienced coach or manager. Yeah, it's his first managerial job. Ultimately, he could do quite a good job. And then what you might have is, I think it's a dangerous game for the FAI. He gets good results. The new guy comes in, and then he changes it like just a two or three things, and we lose games. They're going, why do we bother changing O'Shea? He is a name ultimately. O'Shea. He's a safe set of hands here. It's just the inexperience would worry me. But I don't really know who they got in. This. What you're saying, the phrase that I used about international experience, it probably is Gus Poyet, really, isn't it? I think he does come into consideration then. I think they want an Irish manager. There's just no one there to do it, though. I can see.
I honestly think they want someone from their pathway, and that's where Paul Clement. I wouldn't have Paul Clement, but that's where Paul Clement could come in because he's an endorsement for the FAI coaching course because he's coached at Chelsea, Real Madrid. He's coached at Bayern Munich. He's managed a couple of teams that hasn't worked out for him.
So too is Barry as well. We know Tuchel's going from Bayern.
Yeah,
isn't he?
So
I put my
well in the Euros
from the way they're talking. I will put my money on Anthony Barry. Because he's in a contract, he's gone through the FAI pathway, and he's familiar with the association. And again, I'd have concerns there as well because, like O'Shea, does he have the experience to grind out the maximum with limited resources?
I tell you what, if it was Barry, I'd be okay with that. I'd rather Barry than O'Shea, and I've said this before. Barry's a better coach than O'Shea. He's higher. He's rated highly. He had an impact on the Irish team when he came in. And his impact was his absence from the team. It showed. He was sorely missed. When O'Shea came in, he didn't really have much of an impact for the Irish.
It was over then, though, wasn't it? To defend John O'Shea.
Maybe he could have. Well, maybe he could have put it back on again. You know what I mean? Like he could have put it back on the rails. I mean, Anthony Barry. It was looking bad for Kenny at the time. Anthony Barry comes in, all of a sudden, like we're tighter, we're more structured. That's coaching. That is absolutely coaching. So I wouldn't be mad at Anthony Barry if he was the manager. Obviously, I wanted Lee Carsley. John O'Shea, I think John O'Shea will be the next, not this one, but will be the one after. He's the penultimate Ireland manager, if that makes any sense.
Do you think, just quick question I put out there though, on international experience, and kind of an old head, Chris Hughton, does he come back into it?
I don't know.
With that backroom team,
there's potential, and it's the reverse of even worked with Kerr before, and he's now the main man.
I like Paddy McCarthy being in there. Like McCarthy is very, very well thought of, and as I said, whether or not René Gilmartin stays there, I don't know. But with that kind of coaching staff, a contemporary coaching staff, along with a manager with, yes, maybe a poor stint at international level, but international experience nonetheless, an ex-Ireland international. And what people don't realise about Chris Hughton, there's two spectrums of people who look at Chris Hughton. There's one type of person who thinks that he plays really attractive football and passing football, and then there's another spectrum of people who think he plays a very rigid style of football. To be honest, he's played so many different styles and so many different systems, but I think that's testament to the fact that he has evolved as a coach, that he's been able to mix it up in his career. And he's apparently, I think it was Kevin Doyle said, he stays very, very up to date with coaching methods and coaching styles and playing styles and that kind of thing. So, as I said, with Stephen Kenny, one of the big failings was he had no plan B, and that is amateurish. As far as I'm concerned, lads, that's amateurish. Where if you look at Chris Hughton, his experience, the amount of clubs he's been at, the amount of players he's been at, with that young coaching squad, I think it would be a good fit. To be honest, would it be successful? No idea, but I think it would be a better fit than Barry or O'Shea or Poirier.
Okay, we'll move it on there. We'll see who it is. I'm gonna reserve my judgment. But the way the IFL have gone about this, and if the end justifies the means, I won't have a problem with the means. But we'll see who they get. That'll be early April. No Carsley, there he is. Say goodbye to him, Connor. If you're watching, say goodbye to Lee. Bye, Lee. Right, we're going to move it on, lads. Right, next one we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the new kit. Let's have a little look here at the new kit. Castori have a brand new kit. Here it is, launched today. Looks like it's still from a video. And yeah, there it is. New sponsor there as well. We'll talk about that in a second. And there they are. Benny Coleman, Kenny McCabe, and is the one on the far left?
That's Abby Larkin.
Sorry. Poor photograph.
She actually looks very like Katie McCabe.
She really does.
Right there. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that. Oh, by the way, before we continue this, I see the comments coming in there, guys. Thank you. Keep them coming in. Are you happy about Carsley? Tell us what you think. Who do you want in as Ireland manager? Who do you think is going to get it? Who do you think is not going to get it? Have your comment. Get involved. There's comments there that are coming in. Brilliant. We will get to them. You know the score. You know how we do. You're watching this long enough. We will get your comments, so keep those coming in. Sorry, guys. I do digress. Let's talk back about the new kits. It's available to buy from the 22nd of March, day before match day. I think the last one, if I remember correctly, was available after the match window. Did I remember that correctly?
Oh, there was lots of delays of it last time. Remember the games we had, the speculation that they were going to tape over the Umbro shirts and all sorts. It was a big delay.
Right, yeah. Well, they haven't done it this time. But anyway, Tom Behan, co-founder of Castori, spoke. We are immensely proud to have produced the Ireland Men's home shirt. The association has an extraordinary fan base. With a countrywide pride like no other. It's a true honor to celebrate this through kit and campaign design. Sean Kavanagh, the FEI commercial director, said, "We're delighted to launch the new Ireland Men's kit for 24-25 with a story and believe that this kit captures a sense of tradition which, while also staying modern for our teams and fans alike. Our fans are known around the world for the energy and pride. We look forward to seeing this kit on fans both home and abroad in what is an exciting year for Irish football." Another comment, I believe, about that. It's going to be sold with the sponsor on. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it now. We'll talk about the sponsor now. We might as well. It's on the bloody shirt, isn't it? So you've seen there on the shirt, Sky are now the sponsor for the men's national team. They've extended the deal to 2028 and now cover the men's team because they were previously sponsoring the women's team. Sky CEO JD Buckley said, "Over the past 2.5 years, we have enjoyed a fantastic partnership with our women's national team. We are thrilled and proud to announce the extension of that partnership and a brand new primary partnership with the men's national team." Jonathan Hill had to say, "Sky has been a fantastic partner to the FAI for a number of years. The groundbreaking partnership with our women's national team has been a great success, and they have helped to drive phenomenal growth in women and girls football in Ireland. We are now delighted they decided to extend this support to our men's national team, which recognises the exciting place the team finds itself in ahead of the UEFA Nations League campaign, qualification process for the 2026 World Cup, and of course, Ireland hosting Euro 2028. We are privileged to have Sky with us on that journey." So, lads, I'm going to ask the obvious question. Before I do, I'm going to ask our faithful, what do you think of the new Ireland kit? What do you think of Sky? Nick, what do you think of the new jersey?
Muck.
Oh, Jesus.
Look,
tell me what you really think.
Well, it's only when you look at the Adidas templates. I mean, as you know, lads, I'm big into my kits. The new Adidas templates and the new Nike templates, and you look at that absolute muck. And if you look at that clip from Almiron and the Castori jersey ripped, I mean the last one I could just about tolerate. This one, I just think it looks shite, to be honest. But you know what I was thinking the other day, lads? If you throw up that for a sec there, Dave, the image, just with the Castore logo, if you put another wing down the middle, it would actually look like the retro Adidas logo, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the trefoil.
That's how my brain works. But no, as I said, I just look at I actually keep an eye. I look at the Jamaican kits and the Welsh kits. I just like them for some reason with absolute envy, because I just think it's what we could have had. And I was looking at don't know what game was, but Panathinaikos were playing. Don't know why I saw it, and they have a lovely Adidas kit with the solid clover, and even the Celtic jersey that they brought out last week was a bit unusual looking. But even just the solid crest and the lovely new Adidas emblem that they have, it's a shame. But no, don't like it, to be honest. And
Martin, what do you think of it?
I'm a kit aficionado like Nick, and I think I'd like to see it up close, see the material and everything like that. I think like the photo there that doesn't really show the pattern. I've seen it a bit closer now, and I was dreading the launch, and it was all leaked, wasn't it? That they were, who was it? Some poet and some rapper, or I didn't have a clue who the fuck they were. I don't understand why they get why don't they get fans involved?
They got Bono to do it.
Well, they can go more high profile than that, can't they? Get genuine. Like I would have had
Bob Geldof.
What's his? Not Bob Geldof. No.
Well, I'm trying to.
Right, Dermot Kennedy goes to Ireland games. All right, you might be on freebie tickets or whatever. Even the lads from Westlife, Nicky Byrne, isn't it? He I'd rather some of them lads who actually go to games be involved.
I could have done it
than them fucking lads do it. I
like Eddie O'Mahony. I like Eddie O'Mahony and Paul Behan, the actual kit people who are into jerseys, who are into kits. But the only problem is, lads, if they got fans involved, what would happen? They'd be asking for Adidas.
Yeah, I mean, look, just put up the one with Robert. Is it Robertson in the photo? I mean, that awful training top. Now, remember we had an awful training top. I mean, I know this. I hope this is going to be received.
Robinson's not even in the squad.
I've got to say this. That looks like something that you see at an Indian wedding in the South or in London, right? I'm being honest, right? That's what it does look like, right? It's an awful pattern. Yeah. That's fucking ridiculous. That's my first impression. I saw that. I thought, well, Jesus, what the hell is that about? But again, see it up close. I mean, I certainly wouldn't wear it, but kids will wear it, I suppose. And the lads having to wear it. I thought it was lovely. The pale green one they wore at training the other day. It's a very light kind of.
I like the black.
And even the stuff that Brian Kerr was in.
Yeah,
the rain jacket Brian Kerr was in. My only problem with the Brian Kerr zip is the zip is white. I don't know why they do that. They always get some part of it fucking wrong. Anyway, but I see Castore. I was looking at their website. No surprise, the kit's not even on it. Yeah, and even in the link for the shop, it's the old kits all on it for the FAI shop. So I know they should have an image of it, shouldn't they, and pre-order it. They get these launches wrong. I know why they can't get it out early is obviously because they had to wait again for the link to the Sky sponsor, which if you look at that image there, that's not on the kit, is it? That's a Kate Middleton job. That's been added after, right? So
I never thought of that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and the angles. Right?
Evan Ferguson has no engagement ring on there.
Yeah.
And why is Callum Robinson in it? He's on the squad.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And why are they in the Sistine Chapel? Jesus, where are they in there? The Pope's house. That could be in Buckingham Palace. They're holding Kate ransom there somewhere in the background. That's where they are. That's where she is. She's with the lads. Fair play. It's like what was the lad who sat on the Queen's bed at the time? That was all.
Oh, that got into
the It's a bit like that again. Always fans of the Irish with infiltrating the bloodlines.
Wow,
I'm going well off on a tangent.
What
I would say though on it is they can't get this launch right because of obviously the Sky delay. But St. Patrick's weekend last week, they know when England are launching their Euro shirt and all these other ones, all these other kits are coming out. Like we've seen the Germany one, the Welsh one. We see all these kits. Be ahead of it. Just be ahead of the whole curve. Launch it before St. Patrick's Day, like Celtic did. Sold loads of jerseys. Imagine all around Glasgow, they would have in the parades upstairs and stuff for Irish St. Patrick's Day. People would have been buying that stuff. launch it going into that in the wake of Cheltenham, even a big Irish kind of sporting festival. I don't know why they don't get it right so often. They should have been at the parade in London. FAI should have a stall there selling stuff. Launch it even on St. Patrick's Day with 20% off or whatever it is as a deal to sell shirts. Get it out there before, so kids are wearing it over the summer when England are playing in the Euros and everyone's buying France and Mbappe shirts and everything else. They never get it right, and it's just so annoying. And then when they do get it, they bring it out. It's absolute shite. You won't be able to buy at the airport. Even you won't be able to buy anything now. Not even on match day, you won't be able to buy that shirt at the Aviva. That's the things they can't sort out. They can never get it right.
You're going to see more of those Celtic jerseys that came out last week at Lansdowne Road next week. And the red, like, it's been happening for years. And again, I think it's a bit of a COVID craze as well. But you're going to see more retro kits. Then people are going to spend more money on counterfeit Italian 90 jerseys than they are on this Castori shite.
Or design their own ones. They're going to do that. And the other thing they're going to do, or, like even themes.
And all power to them if they do.
Yeah, without a doubt with it. And they get it wrong all the time. It's just very, very frustrating.
Well, can I?
I like the blue goalkeeper one. Sorry, we haven't got a picture of that. I do like the goalkeeper one.
Is it only
blue?
Well, I'll tell you what. Can I shock you about this jersey?
You like it?
No, I hate it.
All right.
Absolute garbage. I'm looking at it there. It looks heavy. I bought the black. I should have brought it with me. You know, the black Castori short, 19 quid.
The one that looks like a hose.
Yeah. I bought that. And you know what it felt like? An O'Neill's, you know, the retro tops that O'Neill's do? Like they're real thick. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, like, are our boys running around in this? Our boys in green are wearing this material? That's not good. I mean, I've got a Liverpool top, the Nike one, the one from this season, the professional version of it, right? Cost me a fortune, but you wear it, right? And it wears well. It's nice. It fits well. Do you know what I mean? Like it breathes on you. This thing, like, you'd be suffocating. It's probably won't be dropping with fucking asphyxiation. This thing, like, it looks heavy. It looks cheap. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I know the FEI, their hands are tied with the Castori deal and all that. And, you know, we're going to talk about the Sky deal in a second. No, I don't like it at all.
But even, like, you know, if you're to look at Irish football, like those Celtic kind of emblems, that's nothing to do with Irish football. Like it's shamrocks. It's shamrocks, or those, I know it's going to sound Australian, but those boomerangs from the Italian 90 jersey. Like, that's what people associate with emblems. It's not the fucking Celtic stuff. No, you know, so like they get it all, they get it so wrong. But like, as I said, the amount of clubs, lads, trying to get out of Castori deals, and we've literally hopped into bed with them, and you know, I actually think with the Sky sponsorship, you know, that they're probably not going to be as dependent on it. But I think it's a 5-year deal, is it?
Well, we're going to have a look at the 5-year deal, 4-year deal now to go to 2028. Sky with their finger on the pulse here, announcing it.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Not even the right badge. It's amazing, isn't it?
The wrong badge there. That's not the FAI's fault. That's Sky's fault. But we're probably right. Sky announced as primary partner of men's national teams of 2028. Good on you there, Sky. Declan Finnegan, shout out there. Just seeing the comments there. That was actually sent to me earlier on by a mate of mine, but I meant to put it on there. I mean, the Sky deal as well. Apparently, that is going to be we're going back to sort of the old way. So that is going to be on the retail version of the kit. I don't know if there's going to be a professional version of the kit. I don't know if there is a professional version of the kit without the sponsor. I'd imagine Sky have more of a barrel in terms of the FEI with sponsorship money, and they probably said, no, we're going to sponsor you, but it has to be sold in every shirt, because General Motors have basically set that precedent in 1986. There you go. So yeah,
that's they can get out of that. I know there was precedent years ago, but like they can do this new deal and say we will plaster it all over the Aviva. Sky will be on everything. Like, really push it that way. That's what it should be. Like, you think really if they should push Sky with Irish football, but, you know, have the lads in, you know, doing all adverts and things like that. You know, that's the kind of commercial aspect of it. It doesn't need to be on the shirt. Like, you know, and I'm not being disparaging to the women's. I've kind of got used to it with the women's shirt that Sky are associated with them. I associate Irish football now, the women's, with Sky. I think it's been a really fantastic kind of endorsement and deal done there. But I don't think we need that on the men's national team shirt. I
No,
don't think we need it.
I think this is a time where you need the fans on side. Look, people are not happy. The price of the tickets have gone up. The team isn't doing particularly well. Let's be honest here. It is exciting. We don't know who we're going to get in. We thought it was going to be Carsley. Now it's not. We don't know who the manager is going to be. You got an interim manager in charge. Okay, we got two. I'm excited. Like, don't get me wrong, I am excited for these two games coming. But we could be. It could be anybody. I was excited to go to Malta for Christ's sakes 2 years ago. But yeah, you need the goodwill of the fans here. And Castori was bad enough going with them, and then the shirts that they have provided, and now we're going back to a sponsor on the shirt.
They're so detached, lads. Like they're unbelievably detached.
Yeah,
unbelievably detached.
And that's another reason for it. But yeah, they this sort of thing you need to start doing research with fans. I mean, anyone could tell you. If you come to me, and I'd like to think. Come to us like Lansdowne Road, Lansdowne Roar. We have our fingers on the pulse. We know what they want. And here's the thing: we're all Ireland fans. With three of us here, by the fans, for the fans. We're Ireland fans. Yeah. We can tell you.
I'd say they're more concerned about the opinions of people working in there, in I don't know, maybe the media department and things like that, than they would be with fans. To be honest.
Yeah, that's a problem. I do agree there. Anyway, we're going to see I wonder what the white one's going to look like. I do love the black. Training gear though. I thought that I am gonna get that. I actually like the white zip. I think it looks proper smart, Martin.
I think Martin will be Alibabaing it.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen unless they're selling the Ireland shirt with Sky on it with a free kind of fire stick that you can. that might go down well instead.
Fair enough. Right. We're going to move this on. Have your say. Get involved as those. Tell us what you think of the kit. You're going to buy it. What you think of the sponsor? Are you happy that you won't be out? Well, apparently, you won't be able to buy the shirt without the sponsor. I don't know. That's what I read, but we won't know just yet until we see what's available on the 22nd of March. Get involved. Have your say. Right. Should we actually have a little chat about what we're supposed to be doing? I said, to be fair, it was a very busy news day where the boys agreed.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you again. Sorry. So they've said they're not going to sell the shirt without sponsors. But who is the main man at Castori? You said Tom Brehan, is it?
Behon.
All right, okay. Unless he's going to sell them directly to fans, but that was in the past when that kind of thing happened.
I don't know, but apparently we won't know until the 22nd, but that's what I believe anyway. Okay, lads, let's have a quick chat about the two games that are coming up. Belgium on Saturday, 23rd, it's 5 o'clock kickoff, and Switzerland on the 26th of March, and that is a 19:45 kickoff, 7:45 kickoff local time. Nick, you got some stats for us there. Do you want to get those dulcet tones of yours and read some out there and tell us about Belgium, a little bit about Belgium?
Yeah, like not a huge amount there. Just their coach is Domenico Tedesco. So he's an Italian coach formerly with Leipzig. Very young guy. I think he's only 38, 39. Last 10 games, 8 wins, 2 draws, 0 losses. And as we know, number of star men, I suppose, Leandro Trossard, Jeremy Doku, and Michy Batshuayi, probably the most familiar faces in the squad. Very young squad. Very few caps we've seen them. I suppose Kevin De Bruyne is out. Thibaut Courtois still out. Someone else fairly high profile out that is just not coming to mind at the moment. Jesus,
striker.
Is Lukaku out? Lukaku's out as well. So yeah, it's going to be a fairly inexperienced Belgian team.
Sorry, Storms. Oh no, Stormzy. It wasn't Stormzy. That was when he was with Man United.
Oh Jesus!
That was brilliant.
Yeah, Yuri Tielemans in the squad as well. Very inconsistent player. She's having an alright season with Villa, I think, isn't he? But so yeah, I mean, look, it's a little bit like when they came to town a couple of years ago. Not their full team, so we can get a result. We can maybe get a draw if we shut up shop. But yeah, it's going to be difficult nonetheless. And as I said, they're unbeaten in 10. So they'll probably use this as a warm up for their England friendly.
Yeah. Also, Switzerland on the 26th. I see here the coach, Murat Yakin. Is that Hakan Yakin's brother?
It is, yeah. Murat would have played against us a couple of times, yeah. So that kind of barren spell we had against them for Euro 2024, Euro 2004 and the World Cup as well. I think he was the centre half. Pretty sure he was the captain as well. I think Hakan Yakin didn't he score against us in Basel? One of Roy Keane's comeback games. But yeah, Murat Yakin, I think he's done all right. He did a bit of coaching in Germany. He's there since 2021. Their last 10, they've won 4. They've drawn 5, a little bit like us. They love a draw. Well, maybe not like us recently. And their last game against Romania, they did lose that. And of course, a few players that we'd be very familiar with. So Jordan Shaqiri playing over in the MLS with Chicago Fire. Granit Xhaka, who's having a great season with Bayer Leverkusen. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Connor. I don't know if he's listening, but big Arsenal fan. He said, I cannot believe Granit Xhaka is going to win a league and that he's going to be one of the standout players in that league as well. He's absolutely raging. And of course, Manuel Akanji of Man City. So just a couple of household names. They're pretty much at full strength. And as a kid, lads, I used to grow up kind of dreading Swiss. I was kind of afraid of the Swiss because remember they beat us in Lansdowne Road, the 2-1, and
mixed last game.
We really hadn't lost that many games around then. We didn't lose many at home around then. So I remember kind of fearing them. They had this big goalkeeper called George Steele. Big lad, kind of scary Swiss-looking guy, long hair, very imposing keeper, kind of Oliver Kahn vibes off him. I remember being terrified of him as a kid.
I remember that.
It's my random fact of the day for you.
I remember Switzerland, never really heard of them as a football player until he got to USA 94, Roy Hodgson.
Yeah. Future Ireland manager.
Yeah. God, could you imagine? And then basically, I remember that in 2002. Lost 2-1 to them. Mick's first competitive home defeat, and his last game in his first spell. And then, of course, we lost 2-0. Brian Kerr's Ireland.
We were still in contention then, weren't we? And I think we had to. Do we have to win? We had to win in Basel.
We had to win in Basel because we
went down fairly early. Yeah,
we couldn't put Russia away in Lansdowne Road. We had to beat Russia that day. They were out. We were guaranteed to play it off, and then it would have been between us and Switzerland. But as we did on a Brian Kerr, we always seem to let it slip. Are we going to get a bit of welly for that? Tell us what you guys think. Thank you for that, Nick. By the way, basically the Irish version of Stato.
That took hours. That took hours and hours of research, lads. I would say at least.
You are a guy.
18 hours.
You are a guy. You are, and I mean
Stato with a photo over the O.
There you go. What are you guys? If you're out there watching on the Roar Faithful, are you guys going to the game? Let us know. We're going to be around. We'll be around for both games. And of course, Lukaku and the Bryna, they're not injured, lads. They just want to watch Lansdowne Roar live. They just want to watch it. They want to watch it for themselves. They want to watch us pre-game and they want to watch us post-match. So as always, on the day of the game, we will do a sort of a preview the day before the match. Not sure how it's probably going to be from Abbottstown, to be honest with you. And then the pre-game, about an hour before kickoff, will be live. And then the aftermath, about 5-10 minutes after the kickoff, we will be live again from Lansdowne Road. And it'll be the same with the Swiss game as well. So don't forget to join us there. And if you do see Martin and myself around, say hello. Absolutely. Right, lads, we ready for the comments?
Absolutely.
Yes. Let's get in. Let's see what we've got. Oh, loads of comments as always. Thank you so much, guys, for your participation. And be nothing without you. Cantina's Cat, first one up. Absolutely on a YouTube channel. Absolutely love the new jersey. Having the logo / sponsor on it doesn't bother me. Nice curves on the old sky font softens it. All in all, a winner. Well, that's one, I suppose.
That's probably the Castori CEO commenting.
Another burner account, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brandon Walsh, Carsley rejecting the country he played for to stay on an under-21 role doesn't really add up, says Brandon Walsh.
I think it does, though, in a way, doesn't it? I don't have a problem.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know. In a way, I was hoping he would be ambitious and want to get involved with Ireland, but he's won a tournament with them. He's obviously in the English FA pathway, and he believes he's been kind of maybe promised or is that he's comfortable with that development. That's what I think he said today.
Well,
he might just want to bring them through without the pressures, the media attention. That stress from it, like he can prove I'm a winner. Stop. I
don't think he wants to work. I think it's the exact same as Damien Duff. He doesn't want. He's got experience with the FAI and he doesn't want to work for them. I don't think it's that he doesn't feel Irish. And I think I've seen a lot of people saying things like that today, which is really unfair because he did represent us, played at the World Cup for us, did offer to get involved coaching us. And I think people have to remember that off his own bat. And I just don't think he wants to get into bed with the FAI. Very similar to Damien Duff.
I think it's if you're to take what he said there, literally, and there's no reason why I shouldn't. Lee Carson, never met the man, but to take what he said there, literally, I don't think he really wants a top job, as if in like a senior job. And by the sounds of it, he doesn't sound very ambitious. I don't mean that. Maybe ambitious is the wrong word, but he seems to be very happy where he's at. I'm bringing players on. I'm a development coach. I don't really want the hassle of dealing with a seniors team. No, he could be told, because apparently Gareth Southgate has been linked with the Man United job, which, by the way, would absolutely make my day, because that would be hilarious. But apparently he is linked with the Man United job, and a lot of people are thinking that Gareth Southgate is going to move on after the summer. Now, if he stays on and he takes the England job, then to be fair, I know a lot of fans aren't going to like this, but I couldn't blame him, because that is a massive job. I personally don't think that's going to be the case. I just think he just probably doesn't, as you say, Nick, doesn't fancy working with the FAI, and probably he's just all right where he's at, and doesn't really want the hassle of work with the FAI and a senior manager's job. And I think if that's his mentality, then it's probably just as well. We probably dodged the bullet there. I think he's a top coach. I think he's a brilliant coach, but if he's not ready to take the step up to a senior coach and go out of his comfort zone, then there's no point.
Not yet. And I mean, the other thing is, like, the pressures that come with that job are huge, where he won't get as much of a grilling with the under-21s, especially with the team he has. And what you have to remember, lads, and what every Ireland fan has to remember at the moment, and I'm one person that kind of avoided thinking this way for a long time, you need to be seriously experienced and good to get something out of this team. Like, this is the poorest team, and it's some very talented individuals, but as a unit, we're so light in certain positions, particularly in midfield, that we need someone really, really talented as a coach to come in and maximize this group.
Can I just come in there as well? Because I know we're going on to the comments and stuff, but we haven't spoken about the squad and what we think might happen and who we want to see given game time. I think it's important we probably do that as well, because Nick, you're making a valid point there. We've really got no midfield, and that problem is only going to be solved over the next 6 to 18 months, whoever the manager is. You know, you don't like Cullen, Dave. We know that, but and you don't like O'Dowda, but that's two of the midfield. But you don't like Brady, or no, he might play left back. You don't like him. You ruled him out, Dave. I'm trying to think who else. Jamie McGrath, you had a problem with him. Sammy,
Jesus,
you had going on.
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I love my Sammy.
And Malumbi, he's not even in the squad, but you went mad about his ill discipline. Who else is there? Jason Knight.
and he's been out all season.
Jason
I like
Knight.
Jason Knight. Go on.
You like Jason Knight, but you only liked him the time he played right back. You don't like Doherty, and you only like cousin Will because he's my cousin.
And he's a very nice cousin. Yet again, you haven't actually been able to disparage any of my points there, Martin.
And you don't like Ogbene because you can never pronounce his name correctly.
I love Ogbene.
Pronounce it there for a sec, Dave.
Kiddozy. I like him.
No, but just generally, in all seriousness, the squad, we know I think we're very blessed at the back. We're going to go strong, and John O'Shea, I'm hoping, will have sorted out that. I think it's also important. Glenn Whelan's back in the backroom staff now, and whatever we had with Keith Andrews and stuff, Glenn Whelan, very experienced. He's doing a lot of stuff coaching in the background. I've seen he was actually on a course with UEFA this week. They do a lot of this exchange program kind of thing where Packy Bonnet is so influential in UEFA. He was doing something there with that. Paul McShane was there as well. A few other people. When you look at the photos, a lot of the Irish lads are on this exchange kind of program, presenting to very high profile coaches around Europe, learning at the top level, basically. They've obviously got to put it into practice as well. And I think that's telling, like you said, Nick, that they've got to be given time to do so. And the players coming through, I think, I think where we get to the forwards, I think we're kind of good. And what I want to see us do is cap Jacob Ryan, give him time. I think he's done very well. And I think we've got to play, I'm trying to think of his name. Yeah, Sammy Schmodix has got to be playing, hasn't he? You can't have that course.
Fair enough. Well, Brandon, I hope that's answered your question, mate. Jesus. Nuri, all three of you on together. Praise be. There you go, Nuri. Yeah, you see? We look at you. You happy now. Gonna rub your little chin. Martin Fitzpatrick. O'Shea has it. I think he's saying O'Shea has it, lads. I'm not Sure, I'm kind of getting that vibe. Robbie Bonfield, great to have Sammy in the squad. Thought we had missed the bus with him. Forget about Carsley. We move on. Sammy, yeah, it was nice. There was a picture we shared there on Facebook. On his Instagram, he has the Irish passport. He's got his bottle of water. Not having a sneaky point like some players. And basically, yeah, he said he had his passport sorted ages ago. And he said for some reason, Kenny didn't pick him in the last squad. Thought it was interesting. Maybe throwing the former manager under the bus there a little bit. But apparently, Kenny didn't pick him and he was ready to go. Silly. Anyway,
silly.
Yeah. Colin McSubna, it has to be Pyatt, lads. However, the backroom team is in place. Yeah, we agree with you there. I think we were saying that earlier on. New Nurek, unless Ireland loses both games heavily, it's going to be as John O'Shea, isn't it? What an anticlimax. He's right. He's right, Martin. What an anticlimax. What an anticlimax. Sean Whelan, Castoria shite. We got a few here about the comment, the kid here, lads. Comic something that new kid is horrendous. James Agnew, good old James. Harvey Renard. Jesus, I cannot speak. Hervé Renard. Easy for me to say.
I hope he gets the job just for that now.
Give the man what he wants. Yeah, you know what? I don't know much about him. Nico, about your knowledge on Hervé.
He's not going to get the job, unfortunately.
No.
And his contract doesn't run out until the summer with the French women. And if they're making an appointment in April, I just can't see how that's going to happen. He will be the perfect fit. He's maximized. He ticks all the boxes I've mentioned. He's got international experience. He has maximized limited teams, and he's very good looking as well.
Oh well, he does have a cracking hair. Has a lovely Gruga. That's Irish for hair, Martin. You've taken an upleading pot shots at me today. I was like, Martin, good to see you. Spewing your shite and poison over there at me. I tell you what, if you do put Renard in, yet again, that would be one.
It would capture it. I actually think the fans will fall in love with him, and I actually think, because you have to remember, lads, out of all the football fans in Ireland, a very small proportion support the national team, which is very sad. But I actually think he would hook more people in, and he'd entice a lot more people. He's a very likable guy.
Yeah, no, he'd be one of those. I go, okay, from his CV, the ends justifies the means. Dave McGuinness, well, says Dave McGuinness. How you doing, David? I'm pretty sure there's going to be more comments further down the line. Bernard Phantom, good evening. Good evening to you, Bernard. Hope you're enjoying the program. Sean Whelan, just the quality of the Castoria gear. All the training and leisure gear is all printed and not embroidered on it. And also the quality of it is so shit. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Really bad. It feels like a retro jersey. Not a good one. James Haberlin, absolutely disgusted with him. Lee Carsley, this is. Never in a million years will he get the England senior job. Give the job to Keane now. I agree there with Lee Carsley. I don't think he's going to get the England job.
Can I just say something really quickly? I know I said to you lads earlier, but I heard from a very, very, very credible source that Roy Keane was being lined up to be the caretaker manager and turned it down.
Well, okay.
Very credible source as well.
Very okay. What do you think of that? Faithful? Martin, heartbroken over that. Was that because I hear you're heartbreaking over there, Martin? It's like your belly button.
I was gonna do a Klopp and just walk out and start ranting about the state of everybody.
Very poor choice of words saying that when you're trying to defend Roy Keane walking out. Very poor choice of words, Martin. We'll leave it at that. Saipan.
Well, actually, we were both chatting about it. Now we've heard on the Under the Kosh podcast. I know we don't always, but the McAteer one tells the story of it, doesn't it? Interesting.
Yeah, he basically walked. A very good podcast, actually, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, I do agree though with James. He's not going to get the job. Look, Gareth Southgate got the under-21s job. It was a happy accident. He was the Sam on a dice. Now that team is a proper team. It's an elite team, world-class players. They're going to get a world-class manager. New Ireland jersey, very similar to the 2004-05 shirt, but will it be available sponsorless? Very true, and I don't know. Is my honest answer. I have heard that it won't be available sponsor list, and we'll find out on the 22nd of March it will become available. Wayne Long, is that the FAI? Is it that the FAI are telling Carsley what to do, and that's why he ruled himself out? I guarantee it's going to be O'Shea. Who else is in the running? We've already gone through that, but yes, I think that was the initial issue. Wayne, back in November, the backroom staff and maybe some of the conditions he wasn't very happy with. That's what we're led to believe. Again, maybe Radke has resigned today because he heard the FAI CEO position will be soon open. Oh, controversial. Yeah, Leo Varadkar, the Taoiseach, Prime Minister Martin, stepped down today. What? That's a bit of a. Oh, I know that we won't get too political there, but in my opinion, he won't be missed.
United Ireland, I told you, it's all happening. It's all falling into place.
Oh, you think Sinn Féin are going to get? No, we won't go there. We won't go there. Pat Roach, I don't think it's O'Shea. If going by what the FAI have said, but who's to say O'Shea wouldn't do a good job if he gets it? Seriously, in his playing career, there isn't many better in regards to trophies. He played for United during arguably the best of teams they had and held his own. He's played under probably the best manager ever lived, and and along with some of the best players the Premiership has had. Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that, Pat. I do believe that he will be not this manager, the next one.
I do disagree, but a little bit with Pat there.
Go on.
He used the word probably the best manager to ever live. No doubt about it.
It was a Steve Bruce of Sunderland, was it?
I know. Fergie was the best ever.
Well, according to your boy Roy Keane, that's Brian Clough. Just saying. Not my words, Brian Clough's words. Pat Roach then asks, why wouldn't you have Clement? Why have I called him Clement? Jesus.
Renard, and then now it's Clement. You think French lad?
Can't speak. Just think his time has come and gone, lads. What do you reckon? Very quickly, Nick. Why wouldn't you have Clement very quickly? Because we need to move it on. Oh, Nick. Sorry, just Nick's having some. He's lost sound over there. Nick's trying to work it out. Why wouldn't you have
Clement? For me, it's been out too long for me.
Fair enough.
It might be.
There you go, Pat. He's out too long. Graham Farrell, how you doing, Graham? Story last night, you were on What's Shaking Bacon. Well, bloody everything today, Graham. We were here to thank you for joining us. We're here to talk about the games coming up, and all of a sudden you have a new kit. You had a new sponsor. Carsley's ruled himself out. Leo stepped down. Yeah, it's all happening today, Graham. Jesus. So it's like it's supposed to be the window preview, Martin, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden it was like it's like 5 minutes on the window, just everything else. But I'm glad you're well, Graham. Thank you for joining us. Declan Finnegan, we need a head coach with experience, not an old-time manager. Good man. Dave McGuinness, why isn't anyone talking about Chris Hughton? Well, Martin did, and I think Nick did as well. May have been on gardening leave, long shot, but can't rule him out. That's a good point, That's a contractual issue there, isn't it? If he's on gardening leave from Ghana. Yeah, maybe that's the issue. I think that's
I think contractually, though, he was barely getting paid on time as what he was due. So, from what I'd heard. And so, yeah, it may not have been as contractually tight, from a legal perspective that he couldn't say, oh, now I can be the Ireland manager. But you never know. It could be something that could be a factor. Yeah,
no, I agree there. We've had I think Nick's coming back there. Bit of a technical issue there. Yeah, Nick's trying to just work out his microphone there. Graham Farrell, it's difficult. It's different to being a coach or assistant to actually taking over though and doing team talks, etc. I think that could be Anthony Barry. I think we're talking about there. Colin McSubna. Lennon was told that they want someone with international experience. It's definitely not O'Shea based on that comment.
Yeah, but you can say that though, can't you? If you don't want Lennon, you can say the reason we don't want you and not to upset you too much is we actually want and then they can still point O'Shea, and that was the reason they told Lennon.
He's part of the backroom staff. Blah blah blah. Yeah. It's called a fib
now. Yeah,
it's called a fib. We don't want you, Neil. Peter M. O'Shea has had 4 jobs. One was at the under-21s, one at Reading, one with Stoke, and one with Ireland. 3 of the 4 were poor. Barry has been at Chelsea, Belgium, Portugal, and Bayern. Not comparable at all. Good man, Peter. Good man. See, Peter and I, we get it, Martin. That's what we're saying. He's just a better coach than O'Shea. Sorry.
I think we'll get more loyalty from John O'Shea.
Loyalty, okay. Right. Very good points from Newton, Nick. Excellent. Good man, Nick. Nick is still trying to sort out his microphone. Graham Farrell, I like the shade of green, but can't understand the sponsor going back on the shirts. Yet again, as we said earlier on, Graham, a bit tone deaf if that's the case, but we don't know yet. We don't know. Graham Farrell, again, I never thought Lee Carson would take it. I have a feeling if O'Shea does well in the 2 friendlies, he'll probably get it. The thing is, though, if O'Shea does get it, though, Martin, I think that's yet again the FAI would they're going to look really silly, aren't they? They're going to either you're lying to the fans or the press. I'm not saying you are, by the way, but if you do go with O'Shea, and you don't know what you're doing, I don't think it will be. It can't be O'Shea. Anyway, Peter M. Kit is shite. It's like Umbro days. No doubt the away will be a black training kit. It just looks cheap, like Liechtenstein's kit in the 90s. Sky are a good addition. They will push the team in ads. To be fair, Sky are a multimedia machine. They are a media machine. So hopefully they can lend their expertise to the men's team and get them out there. Graham Farrell, it looks like a T-shirt about the new jersey. The Podge Quinn. What's with the English media constantly trying to derail Irish football? 20 minutes after the presser, the Lee Carson news dropped. Wake of the ladies beating Scotland. Sky Sports News hounded them over a song. Well, to be fair, Podge, they're the only ones getting behind Irish football in terms of media. In terms of sponsorship. No one else wants it.
Yeah, I just want to come in on that, and I kind of was giving it a bit of thought because we obviously can see the comments coming through while we're having a chat earlier on in the pod and slagging each other. But one thing I would be interested to see, why doesn't the government, like dragging the FA up in front of them in the Oireachtas and stuff, why doesn't the government push more Irish companies to support Irish football? They're getting tax breaks, aren't they? Some of them off the government and things like that. But you could say, the government ultimately are subsidising Irish football at the moment in some respects and bailed them out. But why aren't they kind of saying to Guinness or Ryanair, like, come on, help us out here, sponsor Irish football, help push our national sporting, like everyone gets involved behind the Olympians, don't they, when they do well? But why don't they push that? I'm just intrigued to know that, really.
I just don't think they want to get involved with Irish football or the FAI, and a lot of League of Ireland clubs are very poorly run. Not all, but a lot of League of Ireland clubs are very poorly run. So I think that's a big factor.
And so, even like the thing with O'Neill's and things, like Irish products, that's promoting an Irish brand, isn't it? If you have O'Neill's, probably not owned by Irish anymore.
If you gave me a choice between O'Neill's and Astoria, I'd take O'Neill's any day. I'm not like any time I've seen the O'Neill stuff, it's a bit antiquated, like in terms of the designs are nice, but in terms of the way they're made, like they're quite antiquated, like old school shorts. Not really what you want your international team wearing. But if you're having that same quality with a story, then I'd just give it to O'Neill's. But we'll move it on. Robbie Bonifield, look at the new Adidas kit Celtic brought out last weekend. Their drill tops, the drill top tracksuit tops and jerseys are unbelievable. That's because it's Adidas. They are unbelievable. Pat Scott says Muck is right. Nick's comments earlier on about the shirt and Dave McGuinness. Muck, my exact words. Oh, so we should get you a t-shirt with Muck on it. There you go. William Hewitt. I don't mind the new kit. I think a lot of people will just hate simply because it's a story. I hope it will have a sponsorless version available as he did with the women. Hopefully, William, that is true. And I think if they do, fair play. They will have listened. The Podge Quinn is Bono, not Dutch. Oh dear, taxes, eh? Yes, that's in reference to Bono's taxes. Not Bono's, but some of you two's taxes going to Amsterdam. Not all of them. Some of them. Anyway. Peter M. Nike will never get involved. They are pulling back. Adidas were only with Ireland because they were based in Cork, hence the Cork City kits back in the day and the connection now. Yes, Nike are actually, lads, I saw a thing about this. Nike are in serious trouble. They are in serious trouble at the moment. They're losing all of their, I think like Harry Kane left them and a few other high profile players left them. So Nike are in serious shit at the moment financially. And it's a bubble that was always going to burst, and it seems to be bursting for Nike. So they are pulling back on sponsorships, and you'll probably see a lot less kits from them going forward. Pat Scott, rather a Celtic jersey than that. No offense to cricket fans, not my jersey. Pat Scott talks about your comments earlier on about Kate Middleton hiding with the Irish team. She couldn't improve it, apparently. Joe 123452. Based on Canham saying they can't confirm the new manager till April for contractual reasons, do you believe they've had their man sorted since then, or might April only bring the next twist in the saga? I think for his own good, Joe, they'd want to have it sorted, because I think if there's another twist to this, then his position would absolutely be coming very much into question and borderline untenable. That would be my opinion. Graham Farrell, Martin's looks like a pattern at an Indian wedding. Best thing I've ever heard. You spot on though. I think it's in the GPO, Martin.
The background.
Yeah, you know. Were you getting a bit homesick looking at those photographs, Martin, were you? Buckingham Palace. And, yeah. Declan Finnegan, Sky put up their announcement this morning using the old FAI crest, some research. And he's absolutely right. And here we go. There's a reminder of, there's a reminder of that anyway. Good on them. Absolutely. Finger on the pulse. Sky. Going back to my comments. Sorry, lads, I've got a little bit lost there. We've so many comments coming in that we've... here we go. Richard Joyce. Delighted Carsey's out. Sick of the second guessing time for Roy Keane. Said Richard Joyce. Is that you, Martin? Not your burner account, is it? Graham Farrell. Why couldn't that Celtic heritage kit be ours, though? It's plastered in green, white, and orange, and a bunch of Ouija's wearing it. What does that mean?
What's that? A bunch
Ouija?
of Ouija's wearing it.
It's a joke.
All right.
Don't know. Martin Fitzpatrick, if Sky is on it, I won't buy it. Well, he's an NTL man, Martin. David McGuinness, it won't sell well with the Sky logo. I think fans have moved on from that and are less willing to be compliant as we were in the Opal and Aircom days. Mark O'Reilly, is Sky going to pick the new manager too? Probably. Stephen Ring, evening lads, says the fact that Sky are now back in the men take away from them sponsoring the women's team with the amount of fans complaining about Story. All day sure the FAI have to start listening to fans. No one wants Story. No, I don't think it will. I think the women's team have been kind of the flag bearers, haven't they? For the Irish team, World Cup, a flawless Nations League. I think it'll just add to it, hopefully anyway. Graham Farrell, Umbros League of Ireland kits aren't exactly amazing, but they are many times better than that shite that they've brought out of it. If you buy it, do you get a free Sky Plus box? Probably get a free jersey. Joe 12345, FAI have always underestimated just what a money spinner a good looking jersey could be. Dave McGuinness has a question for you, Nick. Nick, do you want Kenny at Bowes?
Yeah, I would take him at Bowes. But he's not going to... He won't be taking it.
What's got Switzerland, doesn't he?
Well, he's been in Switzerland, hasn't he, in the past few days? Don't know what exactly he's doing, but no, I'd have him at Bowes. And just, I think there was a question when the mic went out about Paul Clement. I wouldn't have Paul Clement because essentially he's a very successful assistant and a very unsuccessful manager. His managerial record is very, very poor. I think he was with Derby, had an okay spell with them, and then went to Swansea, was a bit of a disaster with Reading. He went to Bruges then, and that was absolutely awful. So that's why I wouldn't have Clement. Having said that, he ticks a few boxes, but don't think has done enough to warrant the job just yet.
There you go. Nurek, are Belgium going to be wearing the Tintin-inspired away kit? Did you see that? Jesus Christ. They are mad at the Tintin over there. They're mad at him in Gibraltar as well. Do you remember that in Gibraltar, Martin?
Yeah.
Well, our Alaska story kit was kind of Bosco inspired, wasn't it?
Hey, yeah, it was actually, wasn't it? God, Bosco.
Yeah.
Jesus, that brings me back. Stephen Ring, it'll be stupid if you can't get the jersey without the sponsor on the front. Why was it that the women's shirts on sale during the World Cup were only available without the Sky logo, but now they sponsor the men's team that you can't buy a sponsor list? Now, Stephen, as I said, that's what I read. But hopefully that's not the case. We'll see on the 22nd. The player shirt is lightweight. The fan shirt is shy quality, unfortunate. I got both of them last year to get a look at them and sent them back. The new shirt is simple enough, not terrible. In regards, people saying we should get O'Neill's or we should have went with Adidas. They obviously didn't offer enough money to get the shirt deal. Any business is going to take the best offer. That's one thing we do have to remember. Castori have offered a king's ransom, apparently. And look, if you're the CEO of the FAI, you might turn around and go, or if you're the head of marketing, or whoever makes the decision, you're going to go, all right, we might sell a truckload of jerseys. We might get that money. However, if we go with Castori, we're going to get the money now. And considering the dire straits of the financial situation in the FAI, you understand. I'm not happy with it, but I understand it. I
don't know what that is.
No. Joe 12345. Loads of Irish fans will buy the kit no matter how shit, but many more casuals. I asked for plus neutrals. Even would buy two if it's not just a plain green t-shirt with a shit logo, crest, and a big ad on your belly. Yeah, and if you could buy it at the airport, it'd be great. They better have it at the airport. Jesus. When again, no, even now, even though they got out, even though your mate's not involved anymore.
They don't have Ireland shirts in the. I don't think you can buy the rugby shirt in the airport. They don't sell any of that stuff. It's all their own airport shops and things. There's not a sports shop there. It used to be a Champion Sport there, I think, years ago.
Yeah,
but they don't
really good one, by the way.
Yeah, it was really good actually.
Yeah. Like
but yeah, that one.
The shops everywhere. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but like they just miss out on it. Even a pop-up shop over the weekend when the match is on. There's loads of space in airports. Just put a pop-up shop.
Yeah.
Ireland were playing. Here you go. Put a few people from the FAI there, unless they've been forced to take their holidays. But because I think you have to do that if you work for the FAI. You don't get paid in lieu.
No, if you're Jonathan. Craig Farrell, I hate when we draw the Swiss. We never do well against them ever. No, I can never.
You don't like Switzerland though, Dave, because they've been neutral. You don't like them. They're not warmongers. They're good for you.
I'd tell you what, I actually do like Switzerland. I was in Switzerland. I've been to Geneva. Boring place though. It's like 60 quid for an Italian food. That is. Dave McGuinness says Delaney's burner account remained inactive since the expose. I haven't looked. Have you looked, Martin?
No, I haven't. No, I might have a little check now. Jim,
that is your Jim something. David, you have a look now. That's your job.
4 7s or something, wasn't it? I don't know.
Colin Jevons. I have a program for Ireland v Belgium 1947. I'll send you a pic. 27,000 daily amount. We lost. Jesus, do send us that in, Colin, if you can. I'm not sure we can get it up there. Robert Maher, fair doing have money to get top manager. Okay, there we go. FEI don't have money. What about Graham Potter? He's out of a job. Same issue. Graham Potter. They aren't going to get him. Don't have the money. Anyone saying Carsley isn't committed? Irishman is an utter gobshite, says Dave McGuinness. Probably a fat MK. All these acronyms coming in. I don't know what that means. I've met Lee once, and he's devoutly proud of his Irish roots and caps. People have to realise a lot of bridges have been burned with ex-players in the FAI, and for some who haven't burnt bridges, working with the FAI isn't that appealing. Joe, if it becomes apparent that Brendan Rodgers is leaving Celtic end of season, is there an outside chance of the FAI trying to speak with him in April if the protracted master plan falls through? No, money, Joe. He still fancies himself as a Premier League manager. Maybe after the next one. Nick, how come you don't have a Lansdowne Roar microphone cover? Says Neary Newark.
Must have gotten lost in the post because I still haven't got it, unfortunately. I'm going back to my original.
It's not original. Castore, supplier issues. We'll blame Castore.
It's probably torn in half somewhere.
But it bloody well not. Graham Farrell, I can't blame Carsley, to be honest. It's a poison chalice. Still think if O'Shea does well in this game, they'll give it to him. Jason McCutcheon, what about Lee Varadkar? Could he do a job for us? Well, apparently Linfield wanted him as a striker. I saw that post on Facebook. Dave McGuinness, players and coaches are very aware it's a financial irregularities currently in play, and it's seen as something to avoid. Patriarchy has its limitations for some... patriarchy, has its limitations for some budding coaches trying to make a mark in the game.
Yep.
Dave McGuinness, Stuart Pearce was a brilliant youth manager and made the leap early. Was a mess, and his coaching career never recovered. Did very well at the under-21s. Got to the under-21s Euros final, lost in penalties, I believe.
2007, yeah.
Yeah, and then did horribly. Joe Hart was the goalie.
Yeah,
Wasn't he?
I've heard a lot about Stuart Pearce, the manager, that like, not liked, and again, I'm basing that on listening to the Under the Cosh podcast, which actually there was one story this week I heard about Steve Staunton, where he selected a team, the opposition of the team. Have you heard this before? Did we talk about this before? Where he put up on the board. He put up on the board. This is definitely their lineup, and he was trying to. I think it was, who was he with at the end?
Darlington.
Darlington or Walsall, was it?
Walsall, I think it was, and he put up 12 names from the opposition. And so this is their starting lineup. I've been told it, and they went, actually, there's 12, and he went, oh, I did it to test you. Awful. Apparently, getting out senior pros, senior pros. Like, told them they didn't like senior pros. When you mess around with senior pros, when you want them out the club, you don't want to pay up their contracts, but you make them come in on Saturday morning. You still make them report for games, and you mess around with them, play, put them in the youth team and stuff like that. He basically did some of that, but he was going, right, you're not to come near the first team. You don't even have to come to our matches. You don't have to do this. And you will train with the youth team. And these lads just went, that's brilliant. Like, we don't want any responsibility. And he was then getting crap results. And yeah, very interesting listening to it this week.
I will have to read that. Which one is that?
Chris Lumsden, I think it was.
I'll have a read of that.
Very funny.
I mean, when you look at managers, though, like you see Steve Staunton cannot communicate. I saw Robbie Fowler talking to Simon Jordan, moaning about not being a manager. Cannot communicate. Could barely string two sentences together. I saw Wayne Rooney. I thought it was a disgrace, actually, on the Stick to Football podcast. The lads are putting the boot into Ten Hag, but they're trying to justify their mate Wayne Rooney. You're a brilliant manager, Wayne. You're the right job will come for you. You can barely string two sentences together. Communication. It's all about communication and delivery. You ever see the best managers have that? They have that communication. And yeah, Stan never had it. Stephen Ring, surely now the time is right for Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer. You find him on his little boat in Norway. Jason McCutcheon, Mark O'Reilly, he is a medical score as well. Could be a money saver for the FAI. Politically connected also, so great for them. The next corruption scandal breaks. That's on Leo Radcar coming into the FAI. How about Ole, says Shanko, Brady, Lug, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What about Robert Maher says, what about Chris Hughton? Spoken about that. Do you know what, actually? I think it could be. I think someone made the point there. He could be on gardening leave. And in he goes. I think Dave McGuinness said that. I never thought of that, actually. John Murphy, Cannon will lose all credibility if he doesn't appoint a manager in April. It just proves that his future plan is all talk. If you had put money on it, lads, who do you think will get the job? I'm probably going to say Chris Hughton, to be honest now.
I think Anthony Barry.
Anthony Barry.
I part of me thinks, lads, it's going to be a what the fuck appointment. It's a little bit like the assistants. When Anthony Barry was announced, people were like, who the hell is this guy? What a weird one, but it's good. And then when John Eustace was appointed, people were like, that's a random one. But then he came very highly regarded. And I think it's going to be, I do actually think it's going to be Anthony Barry or John O'Shea. But if it isn't, I think it's going to be a really, really random name that no one predicted. Yeah, that no one predicted. And it'll just be announced. And then people will be like, oh, what? I don't know. But I can imagine that.
And then we'll go live on that particular day, and we'll be here till 2 o'clock in the morning taking in. And I wouldn't mind, but we would have started at 8 p.m. Ken Kelly, thoughts on Evan Ferguson dip form? Got to do with Brighton manager. I think it's got to do with the team. When a team's not playing well, the strikers are going to suffer, aren't they? You're not going to get the service. You're not going to get the delivery. You're going to get blamed because you're not putting the goals in. The team's losing. It's just not good, is it, for a young player to be in? Managing
them as well. I mean, managing a young player. People forget that Wayne Rooney wasn't that prolific when he started off at Everton. If you look at his Everton record, he was managed
with United either, was he?
Absolutely was. But I mean,
2 seasons, 20 plus goals. Just saying.
No, but he was managed very, very well at Everton. I think it's the same with Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson had a pretty nasty Achilles injury last season, and they kind of have to mind him. He's a big lad as well. He's still growing, and I wouldn't be overly concerned. I think people are getting very carried away about that. Look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane actually didn't score as many goals as Evan Ferguson had at his age, so they need to bear that in mind.
you definitely have to bear that in mind. He's 19 years old. He scored goals in the Premier League. He's good enough for the Premier League. He will score goals again. He's well ahead of the curve. If you look at his development, 19-year-old playing in the Premier League doesn't happen that often, to be honest, as a striker, and he's actually delivered. So he's just had a little dip. No problem at all. He needs love. He needs to come into that squad and just be told you're the future of our forward line for the next 10, 15 years, and look after him and build it all around him. That was a failing of Kenny. We put too much pressure on him too young.
Just get you in, Martin, to look after him. Oh, I love you, Evan. Got a pair of boots, mate.
You just probably don't like him because I
do like Evan Ferguson. Don't you
because
start
Ferguson.
that.
Because it's Ferguson. You probably think he's related.
Is he?
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, under Steve McKennie, he couldn't even get out of his own half. Never mind be the focal point. Anyway, Dave McGuinness, Keane's story is 100% true. What Nick shared with us earlier on about being offered the job as interim manager, and he turned it down.
There was some interesting. It was a conversation I had from. I know it sounds like bullshit, and people be like, "He's a fucking spoofer," but a very credible source, and some interesting things were explained to me today that were unusual, and I kind of thought they were nonsense. But no, as I said, it was coming from a very well positioned source.
There you go. Declan Finnegan, Roy Keane going back to Sunderland. That's one that seems to just never go away. Lad hasn't been in management for 10 years? But anyway, Nuri Nurek, Harvey Renard took a 75% pay cut from the Saudi job to be France women's boss. If the FAI want him, they'll need to pay Saudi level wage. It's not going to happen. Let it go, Nick.
What's that say? No, he's not gonna get it, and it doesn't add up with the timeline. It doesn't add up with the timeline at all, unfortunately.
Pat Roach, you're right, Martin. No, Pat, Martin's never right.
I don't know. That could be about anything. That could be about anything I've said tonight.
Yeah. Nothing. Stephen Ring, I think we know why Dave wanted Carsley so badly. It's the only manager he can pronounce. Only on a good day, Stephen. Only on a good day. Joe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. If it is to be John O'Shea, will the grand unveiling conference require that O'Shea be sent off stage behind the curtains before swiftly emerging for the big reveal? You could just see it, like, start and rise. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be the Ireland manager. Oh, Jesus. Graham Farrell, David, man, your pronunciation is amazingly funny. Thank you, Graham. Yes, it's
Didn't you just tell us about the importance of communication?
Yes, but not enunciation. Communication, not enunciation. Sorry. You get my message, Martin. That's the difference. You get my message.
Sorry, Stephen Kenny.
Fucking Matt Holland over there. You sound like Matt Holland.
Oh my God.
Ray Farrell. Sorry, Matt, if you're listening. Friend of the pod. Graham Farrell. Anthony Barry's an offensive coach. Never managed a game in his life. Neither has O'Shea. So again, it's much of a muchness for both of them.
Yeah.
For the impact, Graham. Come on.
I think Barry is much more highly regarded than O'Shea as a coach. Yeah. But he mightn't want management. Who knows? O'Shea does. I think O'Shea's been very clear that he wants to be a manager. Yeah. Anthony Barry may not want that. He may be very content not being in that limelight. He may be very content working under a manager.
Fair. Anna Donovan, could the FAI be bringing in a coach with international experience like Anthony Barry to work with O'Shea in April? No. Well, that's on the presumption, Alan. I'd imagine O'Shea's going to be unveiled as the manager. I don't think he will. I think O'Shea will be part of the backroom staff, and O'Shea will be the next manager after whoever gets this one. Shanko, Brady Lug, Jemison have a deal with the championship. They do, yeah. It's a bit mad, actually.
Yeah. Clinton Morrison was doing some promo for it.
Yeah, it sounds like he has a few swigs of it when I hear him doing punditry sometimes. Graham Farrell, because the government don't give a balls about Irish football. They'd rather pump money into the GA, even the Olympic team, and all get fuck all money, says Graham. There you go, Martin. Stephen Ring, the Irish government only care about horse racing. They couldn't give two fucks about football, but as soon as the men or women start qualifying, they'll be looking for pictures with the teams. It's so true, though, isn't it? I always go back to the whole, world class, what a chance to show our world class facilities here in Ireland for the Euros when we're hosting it. And then Leo Varadkar, then a few months later, the FAI, oh, by the way, we need 753 million euros to bring football up to scratch in this country. Anyway, Shanko, Brady, Lug again. Adidas done shit with Man United. Oof. O'Neill, Adidas, FAI want cheap deals, says Robert Maher. Glaswegians, Dave. That's what Ouigies mean. There you go, lads. Glaswegians, and James comes up on that as well. People from Glasgow, lads. Neil Fenton, it would be Gus. He wins the playoff and stays with Greece until the Euros and takes over after. And if not, he'd be in charge for the summer friendlies. Could you imagine? Clement is like Brian Kidd, good bridesmaid, minger of a bride.
Minger
of a bride. Minger. It's gonna be both really good. A minger of a bride.
It's okay. It's past 9 o'clock. We're good.
It is. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. West Coaster. The idea that Stephen Kenny believes that he's in the running for prestigious positions abroad is hilarious. Graham Farrell, Lifestyle Sports is there, I think, but they only do club shirts. Shanko. There was a Championship Sports in the airport. I got Ireland Umbro pants there. Hopefully that wasn't an emergency purchase there, Shanko. we've all been there. PGC, how you doing, PGC? On YouTube, bring back John Delaney, Hill, and Canham are an utter car crash. So at least it was fun with John, wasn't it? John Murphy, Shirley Poirier doesn't fit the description of what Canham said they're looking for in terms of progressive style and long-term project. Dave McGuinness, Pat MK, foam at the mouth, Kennyite. Oh, okay. There we go. PGC again. Ireland are second, third tier international team, so we'll get a second, third tier manager. True.
Well, with finances, we would attract someone of decent quality, I think, but the finances aren't there. There are second, third tier nations with high profile managers, so unfortunately, it's more down to finances than where we are.
Fair. Archduke. All right, lads, didn't know you were on tonight. Arch, we did put an advert up, but a lot of people have said that actually that they didn't know we were on tonight. Yes, here we are. We're also going to be live match day before the game and straight after the game as well. So don't forget, unless you're going to the match, obviously, but don't forget to watch then. But he asks, all right, lads, didn't know you were on tonight. The Sky deal, is there any obligation for Sky to show a few League of Ireland games after the football season finishes in Britain? I doubt it. Very much.
Not with the Virgin deal.
Games, really.
Yeah. Not with the Virgin deal.
No, I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better. Graham Farrell, Varadkar would fill a hole. Boom, boom. Oh, Jesus. I mean, no. Brandon Walsh, if O'Shea's been lined up for the job, the unveiling will be a bit of a disaster if we get battered these two up-and-coming games. I tell you, you won't get this one off the ball, lads. You won't get this one off the ball, and it's free. Yes, Brandon. If they do get an absolute hammer, and that's why I don't think it's going to be John O'Shea at all. I don't think it'll be John O'Shea. You have to remember the whole Eileen Gleeson thing. I think that's what people are looking at. That was a whole different set of circumstances. That was after an entire campaign, and he went with Eileen Gleeson. This is just two friendlies, my opinion. Although my opinion doesn't seem to mean much these days. I thought cars that you get it. William Hewitt, I agree with you. Adidas or Nike be best options style-wise, but I don't think people realise the cut clubs countries get for kids is very small. The suppliers make most money from the sale. Robert Maher wants Jose Mourinho. Keep reaching for those stars, kid. Graham Farrell. Stan was scout for Sunderland. In the end, he managed Darlington after us and then was helping Paul Merson at Walsall. No, I think he was helping Paul before. He was a defensive coach at... he wasn't even a coach. He just put stuff down, traffic cones down.
Here's a random one for you. Rene Gilmartin, who I keep banging on about. He was in goal for Stan's last ever professional game for Walsall.
There you go.
Wow.
None of those times. Yeah, there you go. That's what you get here. Random facts.
Random pointless facts.
Coming at you. Shit in real life, but great in a pub quiz. Adam T, if there's a manager we all want, but it's a case of FAI don't have the money, why doesn't someone set up a cheeky GoFundMe? I'd pay £5 into that.
I think we're probably going to need a GoFundMe for our show tonight when we get taken to court by Leo.
Leo,
I don't think you disagree.
Lee Carsley. Yeah, for everybody off the ball. William Hewitt, last point, continued. A report last year claimed that Premier League clubs from an £80 shirt, clubs receive £4.80 licensing fee. Wow. Okay, that's why the commercial deals are so big, I suppose. Blue and gold. Some bollocks being stated here by lads. FAI are broke after not getting number one Carsley. The cheapest option is next. Expect Bruce. By Jesus God forbid Jamie Redknapp. That's a bit no. Shane Martin, lads with O'Shea and the staff, you're talking about two centre halves. One was Hodgson's assistant defensive midfielder and Brian Kerr experience. I think will be hard to beat. Well, you never know. Under Mick McCarthy, we played good attacking football, and we did. And people were shocked at him doing that.
I think that's where Kerr is a unusual but clever appointment, because he was able to kind of manipulate, I suppose, the style to grind out results. Like he only lost 4 games, but he was able to. Now it was very uncompromising, as we know, and it probably didn't maximize the attacking talent we have. But if it's a thing that O'Shea stays on and we're playing, I don't know, Germany or something in a qualifier, Kerr would probably have the know-how to shut up shop, or how to tighten things up. Now I don't know, he's out of the game so long, but maybe that kind of experience is valuable for O'Shea being a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, I do think those two is trying to get the fans on side a little bit as well from the FPL. It's a smart move, and look, if it squares a circle, fair play. Where am I? Shane Martin. O'Shea is coming across very well in press conferences and training videos. He has an air of authority about him. Yep, he's very good, very smooth in front of the press, which is breath of fresh air. Blue and gold. The GAA is in a way better place than the FEI. I said here before, get the GAA to run the FEI. Well, to be fair, blue and gold, the GAA, how would they deal with clubs being actually professionally run in terms of paying their players? It's easy when you're not paying your players. I'm not going to go to GAA, by the way, before I start getting loads of people, at me here. But let's be honest, they're two completely different animals. And fair play to GAA. They that's what they do. Ryan Farrell, Minger, right? Minger. I meant to say Minger. Jesus, I'm a gentleman. I don't normally say these things about ladies. Graham Farrell. The way it's going, Michael Beale will get it. Jesus, could you imagine? Blue and gold, Sky and League of Ireland games. Are you joking? Says blue and gold. Stephen Ring, live odds at the moment. Willie Sagnall 5-1, Gus Pye 5-1, Lee Carsley 9-1, Anthony Barry 10-1, and it goes on and on and on. Lee Carsley still in there. Robert Maher, would David O'Leary take the job if he was asked? I don't. I think he's way beyond it now. He's been out of football for so long. Seems to enjoy having his pints in London and going to Arsenal games. He seems to have and by the way, I'm not having a go. Seems to have a very nice life, and sure, why would he want to interrupt that? And then Dave McGuinness says to West Coaster, superb commentary. Right, lads, that's the last of the comments here. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on there, lads. And thank you very much out there to our wonderful Raw faithful. As always, you guys make the podcast, and thank you so much for your involvement. We will be live match day an hour before kickoff. That is roughly about... It's a 5:45 kickoff, isn't it? So about 4:45.
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock kickoff.
5 o'clock kickoff, sorry. So at about 4 o'clock, yeah, sorry. I don't know what was so hard about those maths. At about 4 o'clock, we will be live with a pre-game program for about 15-20 minutes. And then straight after kickoff, well, about 5 or so minutes when it settles down, I can actually hear myself think, we will be live, or I'll be live. From the ground as well to get your reaction. We will have a preview show the day before as usual, and we're going to do the same for the next match day as well. Hour before kickoff, straight after the final whistle, we will be live. Anyway, international window, lads, cannot wait. If you see us around Dublin, I am flying out tomorrow. If you see us around, do say hello if you wish and have a chat, or if not, fuck you then.
Are you going to hang out outside Bono's fucking hotel still, is it? Fucking.
Yeah, I am actually. No, I'm going to go to his house. That borrowing order has expired, so I have already met Bono. I have met him. I've worked for him, and I met him. Very nice man. A lot nicer than you, Mr. Prendergast. You're a nasty, nasty piece of work you are. Anyway, this is the longest fucking outro ever. But yeah, we are going to be live all over at the window. And of course, the day after the window ends, we will have a window review. And we're just going to be live and get your comments. So anyway, give us a follow. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook and TikTok and all that. Happy stuff. Right, lads, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much. I'm David Dunn. He's Nick Menzies. He's Martin Prendergast. Not a very nice man. Nasty man, Nick Prendergast. This is Lansdowne Roar. We were live. I don't care anymore.
Right.
Anyway, we're going to leave it there. I'm tired. And this is Lansdowne Roar. Thank you for watching. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you over the window. See you in Dublin.